Hello, 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 and welcome to My Empty Hands, a podcast about the martial arts with a focus on Kempo, or I should say, usually a focus on Kempo, but whatever we want to talk about in the martial arts world. Um, I am, as always, Reggie Darden, and I'm excited to have my new pal, my new comrade in arms, brother in arms, Jimmy Clouse, with me today. Um, we met at the Enzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu school that I have recently become a student of, and yeah, we're gonna talk about his journey and whatever other items that we want to talk about today, and yeah, so I'm just real excited to have him on, and we'll just kind of get going. I usually kind of start things off with going through my background. I'll just give kind of the quick version, in that I started formally training in Chinese Kempo at the time in the early '90s, right after seeing Jeff Speakman's The Perfect Weapon. Got big into Kempo and trained in that for a while until I left for the Army. While I was in the Army, I got to do a little bit of Taekwondo, a little bit of Hapkido, and a little bit of boxing. Once I got out of the military, I then got involved in capoeira, and I've been doing capoeira for quite a number of years now. I got back into Kempo, this time in the American Kempo flavor, and been doing that for a few years now. And I guess about 2-3 weeks now, I am now a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu person, and enjoying the art of folding clothes while people are still wearing them. So, so
Oh
yeah,
man.
I'm excited about that journey and where that's heading. And I also am kind of. Didn't really expect it, but I think I'm going to also be back in training in Hapkido as well. Um, but we'll maybe get into that a little bit later. But that's kind of the quick version of my story. So now we will turn it over to our esteemed guest, Jimmy. If you could go ahead and tell us, how did the martial arts find you? Where did you get started? And we'll just kind of go from there.
Reggie, well, first of all, man, thank you for having me on your show. Congratulations on your show. It's weird to be on this side of the podcast instead of me asking the questions to a guest. So I appreciate the invites. And by the way, I did not know that you were Army. So congratulations and thank you for your service, my friend. I was Air Force for almost 7 years, and I wish that I had the skills then in martial arts that I do now, because that would have been amazing. I didn't start martial arts though. Up until 2017 was the first time I stepped on the mats. So I have a son and daughter. My daughter's 18. My son will be 14 here next month. He was 5 years old when he started martial arts at Excel Academy with Grandmaster now, Miguel Valdez, aka the Blind Dragon. He is a phenomenal martial artist. We are under the umbrella of Taekwondo, but he'll tell you that we do more than just the fancy kicks that you see in the Olympics. The Taekwondo that we do, we throw a lot of hands. We throw a lot of, I say elbows. We train elbows, but we don't spar with throwing elbows, of course. So my son was 5 years old. We wanted to get him into martial arts because, like any 5-year-old boy, he had a lot of energy, and I wanted him to have the discipline to get onto the mats. So he was five, and in 2017, or I'm sorry, in 2016, I had a kidney stone, my first ever kidney stone, and knocked me down to my hands and knees. I was hurt, went to the emergency room, kidney stone got stuck. I had to go through kidney stone or the surgery to remove the kidney stone. And in the process, of the recovery and the CT scan, the ultrasound, and whatever else for the healing process, they found a mass on my kidney, and that had to be removed. And that mass was cancer. So, because of the kidney stone, my wife and I thank God for kidney stones, because that kidney stone getting stuck found the cancer that was on my kidney. And so that was 2016, 2017. Kind of got in my own head, was kind of depressed a little bit, kind of what they call it, like survivor's guilt, if you will. So was really eating my way, if you will, through the recovery of trying to get through my own head. And then something snapped that I did not. I mean, I packed on some pounds, and I said, "This is not me. This is not who I am." I wanted to do something, make memories with my kids. So I jumped onto the mats with my son in 2017 at Excel Academy. And so I didn't really have an intention to. I initially joined martial arts at Excel Academy really to lose weight, to get healthy, and to make memories with my son. But later on through the process, through the sparring, through getting my butt handed to me by Master Valdez and sparring, I really started to fall in love with martial arts. And then when I got my black belt, when I eventually got my black belt, it was, what year are we in now? 25. So I think it was 2023 when I got my black belt with Master Valdez. Uh, I was encouraged by Chance Burleson to try jujitsu, was to do something in jujitsu. So my son has his black belt at Excel Academy. I have my black belt at Excel Academy. My daughter joined us on the mats, and she has her black belt at Excel Academy. And now we're all learning jujitsu over at Henzo Gracie with Professor Greg Hamilton and Professor Phillip. Awesome, awesome guys. If you're in the DFW local area, I encourage you guys to go try out a trial week there at Henzo Gracie.
Yeah, I will
But
second that and throw in. I'm going to be interviewing Professor Hamilton on Tuesday, I believe, as we're
very
recording
good.
that, and I'm going to work on getting Professor Phillip on here as well, which I didn't realize until recently, but he is a former Kempo guy also.
Yeah.
So
And both of those guys, when you have them on the podcast, and when you have Chance on the podcast as well, those guys
oh
have
yeah, I
phenomenal
totally
stories.
forgot. Yeah, I'm going to have Chance
Yeah,
on as well. So yeah,
phenomenal stories in martial arts, and these guys, what I love about them, and when I joined the mats at in jujitsu, learning with Professor Greg, was I left. The mats at Excel Academy very familiar with throwing hands, with throwing the kicks, with and by the way, this is a plug for guys like you and I, Reggie, who have served in the military. I don't know if you've heard of the We Defy Foundation, but the We Defy Foundation, it helps disabled combat veterans, 80% disabled with the VA, to get on the mats. So they provide a year scholarship and the gi for a year. And Henzo Gracie is a one of many We Defy academies. So if you're listening to this and you are a disabled combat veteran, check out We Defy Foundation. You can Google it. I don't recall the address right now, or I would give you the web address.
no
But
problem.
We
I'll make
Defy
sure that
Foundation.
gets in the show notes. So.
Yeah, We Defy Foundation. Go check it out. Apply for a scholarship. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing opportunity. But anyways, with that being said, I left being familiar with throwing hands, throwing feet, throwing kicks to jujitsu, and I went into jujitsu knowing full well that my black belt at Taekwondo was not going to translate at all into the jujitsu world. So I went there, clean slate, got absolutely murdered. I've been doing now. I'm a fourth degree white belt in jujitsu, still get murdered on the mats. But I will say this about jujitsu, and I haven't done kempo, I haven't done any other style than with Master Aldez, with Taekwondo. But the camaraderie on the mats at jujitsu is almost as good. I argue better than the camaraderie in the military. I feel as though our what we go through on the mats every day at jujitsu, just there's a bond, there's a camaraderie that we have. So it's a great. I love jujitsu. So my son got onto the mats. My daughter is on the mats as well. In fact, she's going to compete in her first tournament on February 1st, Jiu-Jitsu World League. And so this is going to be my third tournament where I'm hoping to at least get my hand raised. But if not, you learn from your losses, you learn from your wins, and so I'm looking forward to another competition there. But that's how I got onto the mats. I got into mats, wanted to do more with my son and with my daughter, and to get healthy. And I have just fallen in love with the martial arts world. I love it. I love the spirit of martial arts. I love the respect it given. I love the history of martial arts. I love what it brings, at least to my life, and I really like to share it with anybody else. I believe that everyone should at least try martial arts to see if you like it. I know some people don't want to be kicked and hit and touched and whatever else, but go try it. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree with your sentiments 100%. I like that you mentioned the camaraderie and the friendship. So, in my situation, I've been, unfortunately, my Kempo school had to close its doors recently. And so I decided to kind of take this opportunity to investigate training at other schools, and so that's what kind of brought me to the Henzo Gracie School, and I really, I've always had some interest in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, but it really was not it never really was my thing.
Yeah.
I'm like many guys, I'm a stand up guy, and that's just what I've always known. I did do some kind of rolling back in gonna date myself. Or the first remember watching the very first UFC, and
Yeah.
just like, hey, like, who's this skinny little
What was
guy
that?
that's
Yeah,
choking
what was
everybody
that?
out?
93?
Yeah,
Was that 90?
93.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah,
93.
yeah,
Yeah.
93,
I
93.
yeah.
And just like, oh, like, what is this Brazilian jiu-jitsu stuff? And uh, a friend of I had started Kempo around that time, and one of my buddies was training at a Machado school then.
Okay.
And so he would come in and he would kind of show us a few things here and there. And after Kempo class, we would just pull out the mats and just start rolling around with our very limited
Nice.
training knowledge. I mean, I'm not sure what rank my friend had at the time. I mean, he couldn't have been more than a one or two stripe at the time.
Yeah.
But we would just kind of roll around and try and kind of figure it out. And it's like, okay, like, there's some neat things here, but I've never really, that was never really my thing. Fast forward to doing the show, and there's a lot of Kempo people that have started doing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and just had a lot of great things to say about it. And you can't deny the effect the Gracies have had on the martial arts world. I mean,
Oh, absolutely, man. They
those
have you read the book Breathe by who was it? Was it Hoist Gracie, I believe, wrote that book?
not yet,
Or
but I will add it to my
oh,
list.
it's added to your list because that book is crazy. I mean, it goes through the history or their family history and just the the Gracie, lineage, and it's yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely add it to
Hmm.
your list.
Hmm.
But the thing I love about jujitsu too is um, so, and I don't know how Kempo is, but I will say that at Excel Academy, we go through classes. The classes, let's say the adult class, we're learning the combos, the school's combos, right? Combo one is, jab, cross, back leg, front snap kick. And then we learn the side kicks. We learn the other school combo. And so we'll get proficient with that. It's almost like second nature. And then we spar, but we only spar at our school one day, actually 2 days a week. We spar on Thursdays. We spar on Saturdays. We'll put the gloves on. We'll spar both days. What I like about jujitsu is every single time you're on those mats, you're rolling. I mean, you're sparring every day. As soon as you and I get onto the mats and we shake hands and we go through the warm up and we're drilling and we're sparring. So every single day you're getting some movement. And what I like about jujitsu as well is I'm a combat disabled veteran, and so I'm limited, very very limited, on my left side, on my left from my hip down, and a lot of pain. So a lot of people when they fight me, they know that if I ever have my left leg, because we fight in a bladed position, and when I fight with my left leg, they know there's no fear at all. All I'm doing is setting up for a turn back kick with that left leg because I'm not doing anything. So what I like about jujitsu though is even with my limitations, there are moves that I can absolutely, submit my opponent with. I haven't submitted a lot of opponents, but when I have, it's been something that I have found that works for my body. And so what I like about it is no matter if you're, 5'1", 80 pounds, or you're 6'10" and 200 and something pounds, the style and the techniques work for everyone. And I mean, the size, of course, I still say it. I mean, Reggie, you're a 110 pound opponent. You're going to obviously there's still a size
Hmm.
advantage. However, some of the techniques kind of levels at that playing field. And that's what I love about jujitsu. It helps with any body type limitations. Techniques are outstanding. And I've noticed in the martial arts world, um, well, not everybody, because I mean you've done it for many years, but I noticed that when people jump onto the mats, and I tell them this when I instruct them over at Excel, is this is not a microwavable style. It's not microwave. This is not microwavable martial arts. If you want a belt, you want a black belt. I will 100% today. I will sell you a black belt. I will go on Amazon and I will sell you a black belt right now if you want a black belt. But if you really want to learn the style and if you really want to get ingrained in martial arts, it takes time. It's a crock pot. It's not a microwave. You got to get out there. You got to put the work in. Do you want to be good or do you want to be great? That really is. And when I say that, I mean, yes, I'm in competition,
Hmm.
quote unquote competition with those around me, but I'm really in competition with myself. And I'm pushing myself to be better. Like, am I going to be as good as the healthy mid 20-year-old guy with great hips, that is rolling around and doing? No, not at all. But you know what? How many 45-year-olds are on the mats right now doing what I'm doing? Not a lot. There's not a lot. And so that's again the camaraderie, the encouraging each other, that at least at Henzo Gracie. And I'm sure there's probably some schools that, I mean, the longer that I'm in martial arts, the drama is everywhere. It's dripping everywhere in the martial arts world. But Henzo Gracie does a great job. Professor Greg, Professor Phil do a great job of filtering out the negativity, if you will, the bad individuals that try to get on the mats. They have had to remove some folks. So maybe you could ask them how they filter that when you have them as guests. So,
Yeah, no, for
but
sure. That was something that, so while I was kind of school shopping, um, that was one of the things that really stood out about Professor Greg and the school, was that there was a very welcoming environment, and no egos, and just everybody really kind of brought me in. One of the other schools that I was looking at potentially signing up with is a lot closer to my house, and but it definitely was not the same kind of environment. It wasn't really welcoming, and they were giving me the hard sell and
Yeah.
all of that. I came in and I'm just kind of watching, and I was just, hey, like, you want to come on the mats, then like come on and get in. And even after my trial classes and my first official class, we do the fundamental classes, and then we do the intermediate advanced afterwards. And every single time I've been invited to just come on into the other class, and it's like I am not ready for that yet. Like I will sit
Yeah.
around and watch for a few minutes, but yeah, I'm not. But every time it's like, oh no, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter that you don't have any stripes on or anything like that. Just come on and soak up what you can. And
That's
so
right, man.
I definitely love that. I love that environment about the school, and that was one of the things that really got me signed up. But after taking those first couple of classes, I got more warmed up to the idea of doing jiu-jitsu. One of the things that was kind of getting to me was how am I going to, I can, in Kempo and Taekwondo, I can work on my forms and stuff in my living room. Like, I can't really do rear naked chokes and stuff. Although I will say my puppy is great at passing guard,
Passing
and
guard. Oh, yeah.
my puppy's side control is amazing. So I haven't got
Yeah.
her to tap out yet. I'm still working on that. So I
Well,
need
I
some more
think that if
classes.
anybody who loves martial arts, I believe that you should absolutely dabble in the stand-up game and dabble in the ground game, because both of them will. And I, of course, I talk like I've been in all these fights in my life. I don't go out and people are like, "Hey, let's go pick with that guy." I've never had that, but I will say that having the skills of both the stand-up game and the ground game, I say ground game, I mean, I know a little bit, right? But the confidence that martial arts has given not just me but others that I see, and you can walk into any room, just, I don't want to say look around and go, yeah, I could take that guy, I could take that guy, but the confidence that you have, or at least that I have in meetings, going into meetings. I mean, I had confidence before. I think it was probably misplaced confidence, but some confidence now. And by the way, for your listeners, there's obviously a line between arrogance and confidence. I don't. So, anyways, that's what martial arts. A good martial arts school, a good martial arts teacher, good martial arts friends will obviously let you know if you're crossing that confidence line into a little bit of arrogance, because they will absolutely smash you
Oh
and
yeah.
let you know that you're not as good as you might think you are for the moment. But I like that. I have been very blessed by individuals that I have met along my journey. You, Chance, Philip, Greg, all the people at Henzo, all the people at Excel. My martial arts family has grown because of competing in tournaments and meeting some really great people and meeting some really great jiu-jitsu practitioners or practice. I can't even look at it. I'm slipping over my words. But anyways, all those people that I have met. I mean, now the family has grown. So if you're thinking about doing martial arts, I encourage you to do martial arts. If you're doing martial arts, I encourage you to dabble in the ground game and the stand-up game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that as well. One of the things that has got me more warmed up to the idea is jujitsu is very very technical, and just in the few classes that I've had so far, there's so much information that you have to pick apart, and all the
Yep.
little details will make a movement work or not work. And it's in contrast to Kempo can be and has a lot of very technical pieces to it, technical parts to it, principles, and it's not just, oh, okay, I'm going to throw this elbow and I'm going to, like, you really have to kind of dig deep to really make it work. And I've been learning that with jiu-jitsu, it's a lot more complex than it seems, which I think every art has that, but for someone like me that really wants to learn all these little pieces to it, I've just been kind of soaking in every little thing and trying to be the person that's asking questions, and something that I definitely don't do enough of in the other arts that I've trained. So I'm gonna start trying to get those good habits now. But
so let me ask you a question. See, because I know this is your show, but like I said, now that we're probably about 25 minutes in, I have to put on my hat of a podcaster. For shameless plug, go check it out. The Legends and Dragons podcast. Chance and we have that show. But let me ask you a question. What got you into martial arts?
Oh, well, I've always been the person that was into the martial arts, as far as growing up with, once again, dating myself, black belt theater, the kung fu theater back in the day, watching Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and Lee Van Cleef and there's two Van Cleefs that are rolling around in my head right now. But
so which one did you follow? Which one did you like more? Like, what was your actor? Was it the Van Damme? Was it the Bruce Lee? Who was it? Like you can right now, if I say, hey man, pick a martial arts movie, we're going to watch it. What would be your go-to?
I mean, there's oh my God, there's so many, and it kind of depends on the time period. I would say the earliest influence were the Shaw Brothers movies.
Okay.
So we're talking the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. I mean, that movie was super inspirational to getting interested into it. We move a little bit further. We're talking Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon with Timac. That was of course a huge influence to me. I always enjoyed Enter the Dragon, but
yes,
for me, Return of the Dragon is the movie.
Is the movie for yours?
Is the Bruce Lee movie. So everybody talks about Enter the Dragon, and of course it was influential, but Return of the Dragon is, or I guess also known as Way of the Dragon. I guess that's the name I should be saying. That's the actual name of it, but then when it got Americanized, it turned into Return of the Dragon. But Way of the Dragon, that is Bruce's movie. I mean, he wrote it, he directed it, he did some of the percussion for the audio. I mean, that was his movie. That
he was phenomenal, and a lot of the stuff that Bruce Lee obviously contributed as well to the martial arts community is. It's phenomenal. I mean, a lot of the stuff. I mean, we know the names, of course, Bruce Lee. The name Chuck Norris. Mm-hmm. We have the Gracies. Mm-hmm. We have some pretty big names. For me, I mean, I love the Bruce Lee movies, of course. And then, of course, watching Chuck Norris and Sidekicks when I was growing up. I enjoy Sidekicks. I was like, oh man, it's pretty cool. Some kid picked on. Probably a little weak. Using the inhaler. Having asthma and then just coming out and then just doing. But
I identified a lot with that movie, mainly because of the daydreamer part. I mean, me and
Daydream. You were there, Daydreaming.
Oh my, that was. I saw that movie and I was like, have they been following me around? Because that was so much my young life, and probably even a little bit of that still happens today. But oh yeah,
Yeah, I get it, man. Then of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when they started first coming out.
hmm
But
hmm
I'll tell you the movie that kind of, I mean, other than Sidekicks kind of probably planted that seed a little bit, like, oh, I want to do martial arts. But the martial artist that I saw was Jackie Chan and the movie Rumble in the Bronx.
yeah, yes,
And I
yes.
remember watching that movie, was like, this guy is so fast. And then of course, Jackie Chan learning, under with Bruce Lee, and kind of Bruce Lee helping him along in his movie career as well. But when I saw that movie, I was like, this dude is so, I want to be that fast. Is what I used to think in my head. It's like, I want to be as fast as Jackie Chan. But yeah, man, no, that's really cool. I always like hearing people's martial arts story, and like how what like triggered them. When was the first
Oh yeah.
time you said before the army, right? Before
Yeah,
the army,
yeah,
you
yeah.
run the
So
maps.
to kind of lock in more on your question, and I mentioned this in the beginning of the show, but the movie that got me in was The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. It came out
Yeah.
in
Yep.
91, I believe, and me and my best friend we saw that movie, and we were like, what are we watching? This is
Yeah.
insane. We must do this. And like, what is this? And I remember seeing on the sign it said Kempo Karate, and I was like, hey,
Done.
he's doing
Yeah. I'm
Kempo,
in.
so we got to do this. So we
Yeah.
found a school, and actually my friend got to join. I could not sign up for the school, so I don't have this verified, but I had begged my father to join the martial arts probably since I could talk,
Yeah.
and he would never let me join a school. And his story was that he used to be a bodyguard for Muhammad Ali. I don't know if this is true. I don't have any way of verifying that, but I will take what he said as the truth. But
Yeah.
so he said that he was a bodyguard for Muhammad Ali, and he said that the other guys that he was working with at the time, this is whenever it was 60s, and martial arts were getting popular in America, and he said that the other guys would always talk about, oh well, I'm learning this karate thing, and I can rip a guy's heart out and show it to him while he's still breathing, and all of these kind of things. And they're always talking about ways that they can snap each other's necks and things like that. And so he claimed that that put him off from the martial arts, and he would never let me do it because of that. So it
Uh,
took about
when you talk to Chance when he's on here, and Chance with his dad Pat Burleson, and the name that the Burleson family has had in martial arts, ask him. So he has some amazing stories, and he has some stories about the '60s martial arts and the karate. So he will be more than happy to share some stories that he has as well. And of course, movies, man. You bring up these movies, you guys will have an entire show
oh
of
yeah
movies.
yeah
Chance will be more than happy to talk movies, talk with you.
oh yeah
But
no
no,
we're definitely going to get into that for sure. But
yeah, but no,
so I took about 15 years to wear my father down, and he finally let me sign up. But my friend had started at the school probably about I guess 6 months to a year before I actually got to sign up. But in addition to him, it's we're far enough away from from the times that he can't get in trouble now. But yeah, he was giving me some stuff on the side, and
good,
then which he
very
really didn't have to, because I was at the
good.
school, even though I wasn't a student, a technical quote unquote technical student of the school. I was there every day from when they opened to when they closed. I sat in the front and watched every class all day long, every day, and
Yeah,
so I could pick up things as we were going along, and then with my friend giving me some pointers, I kind of started picking things up. So when I finally got to join, he was already starting in the instructor program, and so he got to be my instructor. So I
Nice.
got a little bit of extra downloaded information each class, along with the training. So I was just in 150,000%, and
Yeah.
just training and loving it and doing that. And unfortunately, I left for the Army before I could get to my black belt there. But I just still had so much love for the art, and I just wanted to keep it going. While I was in the Army, I found a guy that was teaching Taekwondo and Hapkido, and so I would just kind of go as much of his classes as I could. Unfortunately, the unit that I was in, we would go out to the field for military operations and stuff a lot, so I had to miss a lot of classes. So
Yeah.
it got to a point where it was like, oh, I can't. I'm kind of paying for these classes, but I can't go all the time. So
Did you take a break? How long did you take a break from the mats?
well, so I left. I'm from San Diego, and I left the Kempo school in '96 when I joined the Army. I was training with the Taekwondo guy probably about a year and a half, and while I was still in the Army, I got to get involved in their boxing program. I didn't
Okay.
do any. I didn't fight for the Army boxing team. I just went for the train. I just wanted to do the training, and two, get out of having to go to PT. So
Yeah, my old man, he was in the Navy, and my grandfather were both in the Navy.
oh,
They
right
told
on.
me go Air Force, but I went Air Force. But my old man did some boxing
Hmm.
in the Navy as well. I think he was on the boxing team. Had his nose jacked up a couple times.
Yeah, no, I
So
my both my parents were Navy people, but I didn't want to be on
okay.
a boat, so I said I'm going to join the Army. I should have joined the Air Force. I actually almost joined the Marines, but uh, there was a situation at MEPS that kind of changed my mind about that. But
Oh, okay.
uh,
Yeah, it's funny because I had paperwork. I had paperwork drawn up to join the Navy. So I was going to be a rescue swimmer. So I grew up
oh
in
wow.
the Norfolk area.
Hmm.
So that's where I grew up. And so I was on the swim team, and I've wanted to be an air traffic controller since I was 12. So working through scouts and working towards my Eagle Scout, my one of my scout masters at the time was a pilot in the Navy. Took us on tour of the radar facility on the naval base, and I just fell in love with it. He told me the voice that he liked to hear on severe weather days was the cool, calm, collected voice of the air traffic controller. And I was like, you know what? That's the job I want to do. And I said, oh, wait, all I got to do is make sure that the dots don't touch each other. Oh, it's like a big video game. All right, sign me up. So, and I didn't know my old man. Unfortunately, he was abusive and an alcoholic. He died when he was 43. I was 20 in the Air Force when I was in the Air Force, and so I didn't have that close of a relationship with him. But the one thing that he did do when I was in the Navy recruiter's office, about to sign the paper to become a rescue swimmer, was he stopped me and said, "Hey, you want to be an air traffic controller? Let's go talk to the Air Force guys real quick." And so they were just down the hall. So I said, "Okay." And so my ASVAB scores, thankfully, were good enough that I had talked to the recruiter, and I don't remember all the details here because I remember that I knew I wanted to go and get my college degree paid off for. I didn't want to have any college debt, so I was only going to do 4 years. I didn't know how to get into the air traffic world with the Federal Aviation Administration. And so I initially went in going to be a chaplain's assistant in the Air Force. I was like, well, I want to do 4 years. I want to get my college, then I'll figure out how to do it. My drill instructor pulled me aside when we were in San Antonio, and we had to go to headquarters for something. I don't know, like the whole school. I don't know if to sign the paperwork. I don't remember for our AFCs, AMSCs. And he was like, "Hey, I've never done this. I've never said this to a cadet or to an airman." He said, "But your scores were so high on your ASVAB that you could go into air traffic or into aerospace engineer." And I was like, "Hey, air traffic, all right, yeah, let me change it up there." So I changed it up. I changed from like the chaplain's assistant role going into because I know this is going to shock you, Reggie, but I don't think that my recruiter was honest with me. I think he lied to me. I think that he lied a little bit. So I was like, wait a minute. And so, anyways, regardless, it all worked out, man. We was an air traffic controller in the military. Did a stint over there in the sandbox and Operation Southern Watch, and then come back home. And a few months later, 9/11, the attacks 9/11 happened. I tried to volunteer to go back overseas to go to Iraq, but the rules at the time wouldn't let me go. So went to Ramstein, Germany instead, doing a little, they call it TERPs, terminal en route radar procedures. So designing, approach and departure procedures for airplanes and doing all that nerdy math, if you will. And so did that, went to Ramstein, beautiful assignment. Don't know if you've ever been to Germany, but
No,
Ramstein was a beautiful, beautiful assignment. How long did you do? 4 years?
just well, about three years. There's
Okay.
a long story about that. We'll get into that another day. But
yeah, man. Hey, you know what? We'll have you on the podcast, our podcast.
Very
We'll
nice,
go
very
through
nice.
we'll go through the story.
Very
But
nice.
anyways, with that, so I was young, active, like didn't really think about martial arts when I was in the military. Kind of wish I did a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I did take a YMCA class when I was a young teenager, and the instructor knocked the wind out of me. And after I got my wind back, I was like, I don't want to do this. That sucks. And of course, one of the first class, I say one of the first classes, over with Master Valdez. Well, one of my first sparring classes, man, he hit me with a sidekick that took the air out of me, and I couldn't lift my hands for a good like 6 weeks over my head. I was like, oh man, I was like, I want to learn this dark magic. Give me how do I do it? So, but yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
No, that's awesome.
right on. I wanted to. You mentioned the rescue swimmer, and we're kind of getting off topic, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie The Guardian? With
I have not. You're the second person in just the past few days have asked me about that movie.
Well,
I guess I have to watch it.
Yeah. With Ashton Kutcher and what's his name, Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
But it's all about
the rescue swimmer of the Navy.
Yeah.
I think he was a rescue swimmer in the Navy.
Yeah,
man. No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so let me ask you another question. Go
ahead.
What made you want to do podcasts?
A couple of things. I've actually kind of always been interested in. Well, like you, I love hearing people's stories, not just about martial arts, just in general. But the things that kind of really pushed me into it. So, shout out to Brian Doucette. He has a podcast called The Everyday Martial Artist. If you're not listening to it, all my listeners here, go out and listen to it. He's the gold standard, the platinum standard for for podcasting, but he talks to martial artists and some people well known. He's talked to many of the well known martial arts actors and actresses, but then also just non well known people, and just like me, just wants to kind of hear their story. And so I was listening to this podcast, and I was just like, man, like I'm really loving this. He had a lot of Kempo people on, and I was like, I would certainly like to hear more of the Kempo stories as well. So listening to that show, and then shout out to Peter Taz and the Mind Sensei podcast. He also gets their stories, and but he focuses on Kempo people, and so. And just hearing those two shows, I was just like, I need more. I need more. And especially in the case with Brian Doucette, he asked for, if you have recommendations of people I should reach out to, like, send them to me. And so I was sending him lots and lots of emails about, oh, you should talk to this guy. You should talk to this guy. You should talk to this guy. And kind of impatient. I'm a very patient person, except for when it comes to things that I want, and I wanted to hear the stories of some of these people. So I just kind of got it in my head one day. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try and start a podcast. And so I actually asked Mr. Doucette about his show and kind of what he was doing, and he gave me some nice tips, and he was even like, hey, you got time for a phone call? And chatted with him for a couple hours about getting things started, and I was just like, oh well, I guess this isn't really hard, isn't that hard to do. Little did I know until I actually got started, but I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and I put out there I'm on a Facebook group for Kempo folk, and I was like, hey, I want to try and start this podcast. Anybody interested in kind of telling their story? And I was blown away by the amounts of people that are like, hey, yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to get all of these people that no one's ever heard of, and that's fine. I want to hear the story for myself. And but a lot of big name people in the Kempo world were some of the first people that were saying, yeah, I'll be on your show. And I was like, holy crap. Like I've got these big name Kempo people. And then that kind of led into some other people that have agreed to be on the show, that are got some martial arts actors and actresses that have agreed to be on. So working on getting that scheduled, but the feedback has been very positive so far, and I just like doing it. I like hearing the stories, so I'm just gonna keep hitting everybody up. So I've already warned people, like watch your inboxes, because I'm fast and furious now as far as getting people trying to get people scheduled. So.
That's pretty amazing. Congratulations on that, man. I'm always curious to know, because how we started our podcast was, it's always been on my mind. Like, oh, just do something. And so I asked Chance. I was like, why haven't I asked my bud Chance yet about it? I was like, he'll do it. And so as soon as I asked him, he was like, yeah, dude, I'm in. Let's do it. So we started last April, almost a year. We've almost hit a year on it. And so what we call our podcast anyway, other than the Legends and Dragons podcast, because he is the head instructor at Legends Martial Arts. He has Legends Martial Arts. So Legends, of course, that's where the Legends comes from. And then Dragons is for a nod to my teacher, Master Valdez. He was the blind dragon. So we're like, hey, let's call it Legends and Dragons for that nod. But what I like about your podcast and just this podcast, right? It's just you're getting people who love what they do. I love martial arts, man, and you're going to have some pretty amazing guests who love martial arts. You're going to have we've said it before, Greg, Phillip, and Chance on here, who love it. And so I think that when you have that passion and you have passionate people that you're going to talk to, it just makes it even better. I mean, I love it, believe me. I mean, but I love air traffic control. And that's what I tell Phillip. I'm like, dude, I'm living my dream. I love my job. I absolutely do. Phillip's living his dream. You can see the passion from an instructor and from a school owner who loves what they do. Like, there are some that I'm sure you have met along the way that they're probably beat down. They're just there for the paycheck, maybe, or just to get the money from the students. And but these guys, when you find an instructor um, like Valdez and Chance and those guys who pour their hearts and souls into the school and care about the students and care about the upbringing, if you will, and the character and the integrity of martial arts and what it brings. It's phenomenal, man. There's some schools out there, some McDojos, if you will, and we have talked about this on our podcast, like McDojos. But you know what though? Even if you're there's a McDojo, right? And if it's the only dojo in your town, if you're in a small town, go to it. Go. I mean, at least you're on the mats. At least you're learning something. Like, okay, so you're getting healthy, you're getting active. Maybe that's the only school for hundreds of miles away. Okay, get on the mats. I mean, people are on the mats these days that aren't going to be in a movie, that aren't going to the UFC, that aren't going to the MMA or anything. Just get active, get out there, do it. But yeah, man, that's good.
Yeah, no, we'll we'll have to talk about my obsession for the last few days off the air.
Okay. Yeah.
About that, but yeah, no, I love the passion. I love hearing the stories. Going back to one of the things that got me with the school is Philip, seeing his post every morning.
The 6 a.m.
6 a.m. class every morning, and he's got a fired up Instagram post every single. I'm like, really? Does he really do this every day?
He does every day, man. So
he's one of the first ones that pops up on my feed. I'm like, oh my. That's someone that loves it, and he's hyped
he does.
Up. 6 a.m. I do good to get out of the bed in 6 a.m.
But you see that says a lot too, right? That says a lot about. And I tell this to my kids all the time, and you've heard it, man. We've heard it growing up. You are who you hang out with, right? You are who you hang out with. If you have negative people in your life, well, guess what? You're going to be negative. If you have positive people in your life, guess what? You're probably going to be a positive person, right? Because of just all the positivity. You get people who are hungry and learn and love martial arts. Guess what? You're probably going to be hungry and you're going to want to learn martial arts. And Philip, man, he is certainly that guy with those 6 a.m. posts. Those 6 a.m. animals, though, man, I call everybody who hits the mats uncaged animals. You guys, you too, Reggie, you're an uncaged animal when you're on that mat, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I see you.
Oh,
yeah. But those 6 a.m. guys, I have to, thankfully with our school that you and I are now part of, there are multiple times throughout the day that we can go, morning or lunchtime or evening. Tomorrow, I can't go to the lunch stuff because of doctor's appointments. I can't go to the evening one because of my son's basketball game. So which class am I going to tomorrow morning? 6 a.m. I'm going to get 6 a.m. to get beat up by those guys and to hear the good morning ritual from Philip and his love of jiu-jitsu. That's for sure. But no, that's like I say, man, you are who you hang out with. Find your people, find your tribe, find your community, find your school. Get on the mats, whether it's Kempo, Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, American Karate. It doesn't, to me, man, it doesn't matter. Just find the mat, get on there. And of course, we all have crappy days. There's nothing like kicking the bag. There's nothing like hitting those mats and just getting crushed. And I have yet to leave the mats in a bad mood. I've yet to leave it. I feel good, feel all sweaty, just energized, just that, like, you know what, good. That's why I tell people, like, listen, I know that you're fighting with your kid to get on the mats. I don't want to go, but I've never seen I've never seen anyone leave the mats sad or upset because they had a good time. So.
Exactly. All right, so I mean, I think I say this with every guest. I mean, we could of course talk forever and a day. But I only have so much tape, so to speak.
I get it. I understand.
So we're gonna move into our lightning round here, and we'll save the other stuff for part 2 and 3 and 4, and
let's do it. Let me hear this lightning round.
So I have some questions they're kind of different since you're not a Kempo person. They'll kind of change up a little bit, but
Okay.
anything's fair game here. So the first one is, do you have a favorite technique? Now, in the Kempo world, things are kind of broken up into basics, like your kicks and punches and things like that. Your forms, your kata, your pumse, whatever term you want to use on that. Then your self defense techniques, and in Kempo we have self defense techniques that have all these cool names, thundering hammers and five swords, and they are responses to a particular attack. So
Yeah.
that's how it works in the Kempo world. But I will, open this opens up to anything, any sort of technique, whether it be Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, or
Okay.
any other
So
art
so
or anything.
my go-to technique that I love is in a bladed position is throwing the lead hand backhand or back fist into a turn kick, or even a jump turn kick. Because once you throw that out there and you kind of turn that back, they think that they have your head, and then you
Mm-hmm.
just hit them with that turn kick. Boom! I
Nice.
love that one. The other one that I've fallen in love with, honestly, is a cat stand. So I get my left foot. It's almost like a cat stance, back balance, if you will, and I just let my opponent come in, and then I just come at me and attack, and then I just lift that lead leg into a kind of like a front snap kick, if you will, and get them right either in the gut or the ribs, depending on what kind of real estate they gave me. So that's my Taekwondo move. The moves that I'm loving in Jiu-Jitsu right now is Greg Hamilton's his lapel system, his lapel submissions. I'm learning to do a lot of lapel work. So right now that's kind of my jujitsu moves. I'm loving the lapel chokes. Um, so those are my two right there that I would.
Very nice. Very nice. Uh, I was gonna skip this one, but I guess we'll keep it in anyway. But do you have a favorite form or kata or pumse or whatever?
Yeah, my favorite form that I have for the is Basai. I think Basai is a pretty good form for me because it's not a lot of kicks. It's not I'm not doing a lot of not a lot of injury or a lot of pain on my left hip. So it's good format. Good. I like it. Basai is probably one of my favorites that I do.
All right, very nice. Next question: do you have a favorite weapon?
No, I do not have a fair weapon. I tried nunchucks, and it probably went exactly as you think nunchucks would do when I tried to do the thigh work of the nunchuck, and yeah, it went exactly how you did. Now, I will say the favorite weapon that I love to watch my son work is bow staff.
uh,
He is done a phenomenal job, and I have a video of him when he was just learning bow staff. It looks all, just as you would learning
mm-hmm.
bow staff. But now his bow staff skill is top notch. It's pretty dang good to where in competition he has placed against some really stiff competition. But anyways, yeah. So I like watching. I don't have a weapon that I really have.
Okay, right on, right on. Right, and then the final question: if there is anyone that you could train with, living or dead, fictional or non-fictional, who would that be?
Oof. I would I would probably have to say Chuck Norris. I would love to train with Chuck Norris only just because of his vast knowledge. His If you've seen his video of trying jujitsu, go down to Brazil and doing jujitsu, and then getting smashed. The humility that he has to acknowledge that he wanted to learn an art that he wasn't familiar with, and that he just with all his degrees of belts that he had, he he wanted to learn jujitsu. So I think the humility and his attitude and his approach to life and his approach, I think is just I would love to hang out with them. We don't even have to train. I would love to just hang out with them and talk with them. But yeah, Chuck Norris would be my guy.
I like it. I agree wholeheartedly. So uh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we are now at the time for shameless self-promotion. So you can plug anything you want, or if there's anything that you wanted to get out there that we didn't mention, now is your time. You have the floor, and throw anything else out that you want, and then we'll close out from there.
Yeah, man. So I'll make it quick. So of course, shameless plug for me and Chance Burleson's podcast, the Legends and Dragons podcast. You can check us out on YouTube and Spotify. I haven't dabbled into the other Apple realm or any of the other Spotify platform or podcast platforms. So you can find us on YouTube and Spotify. I like to keep it free for everyone. We like to joke that it's a poor man's podcast. So go check it out, man. Go check it out on YouTube. We record it right now. We're recording it through a phone. I think that in the works, maybe some other sort of camera equipment or something. But anyways,
well, I must chime in and say the quality is very good. I didn't realize that it was just you were just doing it through the phone.
We're just doing it through a phone. We do have an what is it? The microphone though goes through the iPhone. So if you're looking at that, Reggie, you could look at some sort of adapter.
We're gonna have to talk the podcast setup, because I was like watching. I was like, man, like just even from the first episode. I mean, there's still when I can compare it to my early works, and probably even still current works. I'm like, man, you guys got out of the gate with a good quality. Everything sounded and looked good right from the jump. So I'm pretty jealous there. But we'll definitely
appreciate
have to talk
that. And then the last couple shameless plugs I have is, if you're in the DFW area, my family and I go to Milestone Church. Come check it out. Great church. I mean, I can get into it. We can probably spend a whole nother hour there, Reggie, about the faith arena and all that, for how it has helped me in my life through my, as I like to say, my family puts the fun in dysfunctional when I was growing up. So anyways, with that, check out Milestone Church. And then the last one I'll say is about the martial arts schools in the areas. Of course, Reggie and I come hang out with us on the mats at Henzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. There's a lot of other good schools. Of course, I trained Taekwondo at Excel Academy with Miguel Valdez. Chance Burleson has a great school, Legends Martial Arts. We have other J. Pat Burleson is another great school to check out. Integrity is another great school to check out. Integrity Martial Arts. But yeah, those are the last shameless plugs. Like I said, hey, join us on the mats. Come beat Reggie and I up. Come on. You can do it. Everybody likes beating us up.
Truer words have never been spoken. But,
Reggie, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you so much for being on and sharing your story. We'll definitely have to do this again and get into more wonderful things. We're definitely going to have to talk The Guardian after you watch that, and
yeah, man,
and just get into more goodness, and then we'll also have to do the in-person. Professor Hamilton is going to be my first in-person guest,
right.
So that's gonna be fun. But we'll definitely do this again, and I just can't thank you so much for being on, and we'll close out for today, and we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks again.
Thank you for listening to My Empty Hands. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend. If you didn't enjoy it, please share it with an enemy. If you'd like to be a guest, or if you would like to recommend a guest for the show, please email me at podcast@talkingkempo.com. Thank you.